Good afternoon, students. In the last class, we start the third unit revision. Okay, ma? All the topics, interrupts, these are completed. Enabling and disabling is also completed. Interrupt hardware is also completed. So the next topic is handling multiple devices. Okay, ma? Suppose if more than two devices give the interrupt request to the processor, then how the processor handles the multiple interrupts. Okay, ma? Here, see, handling multiple devices gives rise to a number of questions. So what are the questions raised here? How can the processor recognize the device requesting an interrupt? Okay, ma? అంటే ప్రాసెసర్ ఎలా రికగ్నైజ్ చేస్తుంది డివైస్ ఇంటరప్ట్ రిక్వెస్ట్ పాస్ చేస్తుంది అని. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ గివెన్ దట్ డిఫరెంట్ డివైసెస్ ఆర్ లైక్లీ టు రిక్వైర్ డిఫరెంట్ ఇంటరప్ట్ సర్వీస్ రొటీన్స్. ఓకే, how can the processor obtain the starting address of the appropriate routine in each case? Okay, ma, suppose if we are having number of interrupt service routines, what is meant by interrupt service routine? Suppose if this is the main program, okay, this is the ISR, interrupt service routine. ISR one. Like this, we are having number of ISRs. Okay. Why this is called interrupt service routine? The main program is executed sequentially. After the second instruction, the controller goes here. After completing ISR, then the controller goes to the main program where the execution stops. Like that, depending on our requirement, in this interrupt service routine also another interrupt is occurred. Okay, ma? How the processor can be recognized that multiple interrupt service routines, which interrupt is accepted. Okay, how can the processor obtain the starting address of the appropriate routine? Whenever the starting address knows, then only the controller goes to that address location of the ISR. Okay, ma? Next, should a device be allowed to interrupt the processor while another interrupt is being serviced? అంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఒక ఐఎస్ఆర్ అనేది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు ఈ మధ్యలో మనకి ఇంకో ఇంటరప్ట్ అక్కవ అయితే how that will be allowed. Okay, next, how should two or more simultaneous interrupt requests be handled? Okay, at a time two or more interrupts will be received by the processor, then how that will be handled? Okay, amma, so these are the questions raised whenever the multiple devices gives the interrupt request. Okay, amma, here the information needed to determine whether a device is requesting an interrupt is available in its status register. Okay, here when a device raises an interrupt request, it sets to one of the bits in its status register, which we call the IRQ. IRQ means interrupt request bit. Okay, ma, interrupt request bit. Depending on the interrupt priority, the processor accepts the interrupt request. Okay, ma? Here, number of that is multiple interrupts will be received by the processor. Then the processor checks the priority level of the interrupts. Which interrupt having the highest priority, that interrupt will be handled by the processor first. Okay, ma? So see here, the processor's priority is usually encoded in a few bits of the processor status word. Okay, ma? Processor status word, PSW. Okay, so here it can be changed by program instructions that write into the program status register. Okay, ma? Program status register. Here, these are privileged instructions which can be executed only while the processor is running in the supervisor mode only. Okay? The processor is in the supervisor mode only when executing operating system routines. It switches to the user mode before beginning to execute application program. Okay? An attempt to execute a privileged instruction while in the user mode leads to a special type of interrupt called privilege exception. Okay, ma? Here, interrupt priority in the sense, suppose number of interrupts will be received by the processor. ఓకే అమ్మా ప్రాసెసర్ దగ్గరికి నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటరప్ట్ రిక్వెస్ట్ వచ్చినాయి అనుకున్నామ్మా అప్పుడు ప్రాసెసర్ ఏం చెక్ చేస్తుంది అంటే వచ్చిన ఇంటరప్ట్స్ అన్నిట్లో విచ్ ఇంటరప్ట్ హ్యావింగ్ ద హైయెస్ట్ ప్రయారిటీ that will be checked by the priority checker. Okay, so then based on the priority level the interrupts are accepted by the processor. Priority level దేనికైతే highest priority ఉందో that interrupt will be accessed first. Okay, see here implementation of interrupt priority here. So this is the processor here. Okay, ma, processor device 1, device 2 and so on. Device P is there. Device 1 gives the interrupt request 1. Device 2 gives the interrupt request 2. Like that, device P gives the interrupt request P to the processor. Okay, ma, out of all the interrupts, priority arbitration circuit checks the priority level of all the interrupts. ఇక్కడ priority arbitration circuit ఉంది కదమ్మా ఇది ఏం చేస్తుంది చెక్ చేస్తుంది which interrupt request having the highest priority. Okay, then for that device the processor gives the acknowledgement. So దేనికైతే highest priority ఉందో for that device the processor gives the acknowledgement. Okay, amma, the processor gives the acknowledgement here. Okay, how the processor gives the acknowledgement INTA1 like this, INTA2. So which device having the highest priority for that device gives the acknowledgement by this processor. Okay, ma? So this is about the interrupt priority. Next, simultaneous request. Simultaneous request. Simultaneous request means if all the devices give the interrupt request, the same interrupt request will be giving to the processor. Then what happened? This processor gives the interrupt acknowledgement to the first device. Okay, ma? Suppose if this device is not urgency, then that device will pass the interrupt acknowledgement to device 2. Okay, ma? If this is also not necessary, then that interrupt acknowledgement will be giving to the next device. This is called daisy chain method. Okay, ma? So in this method here, which device having the highest priority, that device will be keep the nearest to the processor. Okay, ma? Actually గా ఇక్కడ అన్ని డివైసెస్ ఒకే ఇంటరప్ట్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ని పాస్ చేస్తున్నాయి కదా ప్రాసెసర్ కి. ఇప్పుడు ప్రాసెసర్ ఏం చేస్తుంది ఇంటరప్ట్ అక్నాలెడ్జ్మెంట్ ఫస్ట్ డివైస్ కి ఇస్తుంది. సపోజ్ ఈ డివైస్ కి అవసరం లేదు, నీడ్ నాట్ బి నెసెసరీ, అప్పుడు ఈ డివైస్ 1 ఏం చేస్తుంది ఆ అక్నాలెడ్జ్మెంట్ ని సెకండ్ డివైస్ కి పాస్ చేస్తుంది. Okay, suppose if this is also not necessary, then that interrupt acknowledgement will be giving to the next device. Like that, pass the interrupt acknowledgement to the highest needed device. దేనికైతే need ఉందో దానికి interrupt acknowledgement pass చేస్తుంది. So need in the sense which is first accepted, that is priority. Okay, ma? So ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే సింపుల్ గా ఉండేటట్టుగా ఏ డివైస్ కి అయితే హైయెస్ట్ ప్రయారిటీ ఉందో ఆ డివైస్ ని ప్రాసెసర్ కి దగ్గరగా ప్లేస్ చేసుకుంటాం. నెక్స్ట్ ప్రయారిటీ డివైస్ ని నెక్స్ట్ డివైస్, లైక్ దట్. ఓకే, see here, consider the problem of simultaneous arrivals of interrupt requests from 2 or more devices. Okay, the processor must have some means of deciding which request to service first. Okay, interrupt priority scheme with the daisy chain. This is called a daisy chain method. Okay, Amma, very important topic. Priority group. How we are taking the priority groups? That is combination of the interrupt priority scheme with the daisy chain and with the individual interrupt request and interrupt acknowledge lines. Okay, Amma? Like this, if number of devices are there, then we are grouping. Okay, Amma, we are grouping the based on the priority levels. Here, device 1, device 2, like this, some devices are connected. So this is one daisy chain group. This is totally one daisy chain group. Like that, we are having number of daisy chain groups. Okay, Amma. So which group having the highest priority, that will be checked by using this priority arbitration circuit, and the interrupt acknowledgement will be giving to that group which is having the highest priority. Okay, Amma. So this is about the priority group. Next topic is direct memory access, DMA. DMA, direct memory access. Okay, Amma. So here, what is the purpose of this DMA, direct memory access? Here, to transfer large blocks of data at high speed, we are using this direct memory access. Why this is having high speed means, here we are not using the processor. Okay, Amma? We are not using the processor. Directly, the data will be transferred from the IO devices to the memory without the involvement of the processor. Okay, Amma? Directly, the data will be transferred from the IO device to the memory without the involvement of the processor. Here we are considering one example. Based on that example, you will understand, I think. Okay, suppose in our college, some circular is passed. Okay, Amma? That circular is passed to the student. How that will be passed? Through the class in charge. Okay, Amma? Actually, the guidelines are framed by the principal sir. Okay, the guidelines are framed by the principal sir. Suppose if the principal sir wants to communicate all the students, then that will be a tough process. Okay, Ma? Then how the guidelines will be passed to the student with less time? First, the principals are pass that guidelines to the class in charges. Okay, then that class in charge pass that guidelines to all the students. Okay, Ma? So at that time, what happened? So from the class in charge to the students, all the data transferred without the involvement of the principals are. But one condition is there, with the guidelines of the principals are only the guide, all the points will be passed. Like that here also, without the involvement of the processor, the data will be transferred from the IO devices to the memory. Okay, Amma? So already processor will be easy and another works. Okay, Ma? So that's why here, without the involvement of the processor means the data speed will be very high. Okay, the data will be passed with high speed. That is the purpose of DMA. See here, to transfer large blocks of data at high speed, a special control unit may be provided between an external device and the main memory without continuous intervention by the processor. This approach is called direct memory access. Okay, Ma? So here, DMA transfers are performed by a control circuit that is part of the IO device interface. That control circuit is called DMA controller. Okay, Ma? Ikkada manam use chese control circuit name antamu ante DMA controller we are saying. Okay? Since it has to transfer blocks of data, the DMA controller must increment the memory address for successive words and keep track of the number of transfers. Okay, ma? See here. Although a DMA controller can transfer data without intervention by the processor, its operation must be under the control of a program executed by the processor. ఓకే అమ్మా, అంటే ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ ఇన్ఛార్జ్ సమ్ రూల్స్ ని స్టూడెంట్స్ కి పాస్ చేశారు అనుకోండి, సో దోస్ పాయింట్స్ విల్ నాట్ ప్రిపేర్డ్ బై ద క్లాస్ ఇన్ఛార్జ్, దట్ విల్ బి prepared by the principal sir only. Okay, so with the guidelines of the principal sir, the class in charge pass the information to the students. Like that here also, with the guidelines of the processor, the data will be transferred between the memory and IO devices. Okay ma, for that purpose we are using the DMA controller. Okay, here in this we are using some of the registers. That is, so here we transfer the data. Okay, how much data, where the data will be present, అంటే ఏ లొకేషన్ లో ఉన్న డేటాని మనం ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయాలి, టోటల్ గా ఎంత డేటా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయాలో మనకి తెలియాలి కదా. ఫర్ దట్ పర్పస్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ సమ్ రిజిస్టర్స్ ఇన్ డిఎంఏ కంట్రోలర్. హియర్ స్టార్టింగ్ అడ్రస్. ఓకే అమ్మా, స్టార్టింగ్ అడ్రస్, whenever we know the starting address, then only the data will be transferred from that address location. Okay amma, word count, how much data is transferred, that will be stored here. Okay, next status and control. Here IRQ, interrupt request, IE, interrupt enable. Okay amma, done. What is meant by this done bit? Whether all the data is transferred or not, that will be know by using this done. Okay amma, R by W bar means read or write operation. Suppose if this bit is 1, then read operation is performed. If this bit is 0, then write operation is performed. Okay, based on this R by W bar, we know which operation is performed. Okay na, ఈ R by W bar ని బేస్ చేసుకొని మనకి ఏ ఆపరేషన్ పర్ఫామ్ అయింది అనేది తెలుస్తుంది. ఓకే అమ్మా, so this is a block diagram of DMA controller. Here system bus is there. Okay amma, for this system bus, this is input device, this is output device, memory, processor. Okay, for these DMA controllers we are connecting network interface disks like that. Okay amma, so here based on the system bus, the data will be transferred between the IO devices and memory. Suppose if we want, if you are using any external devices like disks, okay, CDs, DVDs like that. So in that also we transfer the data by using these DMA controllers. Okay, memory access priority. That means here memory accesses by the processor and the DMA controllers are interwoven. Here requests by DMA devices for using the bus are always given higher priority than processor requests. Okay ma, here among different DMA devices, top priority is given to high speed peripherals such as a disk, a high speed network interface. Here, okay amma, disks, network interfaces. Since the processor originates most memory access cycles, the DMA controller can be set to steal memory cycles from the processor. This is called cycle stealing. Okay amma, so the next topic is bus arbitration. Bus arbitration. Here we are having two types. Those will be centralized arbitration, distributed arbitration. Okay ma, here the data will be transferred through this DMA controller with high speed. Okay ma, the data will be transferred through this DMA controller with high speed. Here A DMA controller or two DMA controllers try to use the bus at the same time to access the main memory. Okay, Amma, suppose number of DMA controllers are there. Okay, here suppose 2 or 3 DMA controllers wants to use the same bus at the same time. Then what happened? An arbitration procedure is used here. Okay, Amma, ante ikkada number of DMA controllers ikkada mana use what is the bus that creates a communication path, isn't it? That creates a communication path. The same bus is used by the number of DMA controllers. At that time we are using the bus arbitration. Ante ఏ DMA controller first bus ni use chesukovali. Okay na? So that will be here the device that is allowed to initiate the data transfer on the bus at any given time is called the bus master. Okay, ma, what is meant by bus master here? Which device taking the initiation to do the data transfer? That device is called the bus master. Okay, ma. And if suppose if number of students are there, I am asking the question to the students. Okay, so a student aithe first respond ayaro, that student is the bus master. Okay, so which DMA controller take the initiation to do the data transfer? Which DMA controller take the initiation to do the data transfer? That DMA controller is called the bus master. Okay, Amma. When the current master relinquishes control of the bus, another device can acquire the status. Okay. Bus arbitration is the process by which the next device to become the bus master take into account the needs of various devices by establishing a priority system for gaining access to the bus. Here, the bus master is plays an important role here. Okay, ma? See here, the bus arbitration are two types. Those will be centralized and distributed. Okay, what happened in centralized arbitration means a single bus arbiter performs the required arbitration. Okay, ma? A single bus arbiter performs the required arbitration. In distributed arbitration, all devices participate in the selection of the next bus master. Okay, ma? These are the two types of bus arbitration techniques, centralized and distributed. In centralized, only single bus arbiter performs the required arbitration. In distributed, all devices participate in the selection of the next bus master. Okay, so now first one, centralized. Okay, in here DMA controller 1, DMA controller 2, like that number of DMA controllers are there. Whenever this DMA controller sends a request to the processor, okay, ma, BR means bus request. Okay, BBSY means bus busy. Okay, whenever the first DMA controller 1 sends a bus request to the processor, whenever this processor is busy, then this processor sends the bus busy signal. Suppose if the processor is in ideal condition and this is wants to take the request, then the processor sends a bus grant signal to the DMA controller 1 or bus grant signal to the DMA controller 2. Okay, here by doing the data transfer, by using this DMA controllers, we are using this bus. Okay, ma? And a single bus arbiter performs the required arbitration. Okay, ma? If a number of DMA controllers are sends a request, then the processor gives the grant signal to the highest priority DMA controller only. Okay, ma? This is about the centralized arbitration. Next, distributed arbitration means Here we are having some arbitration bits will be there. Totally 4 bits will be there. Start arbitration, that is start the data transfer. Suppose if two DMA controllers are there. Okay, here we are taking A and B. A and B. So out of the two devices, which device is the winner? That device starts the arbitration first. Okay, ma? So that is about the distributed arbitration. Okay. So this is a centralized arbitration and distributed arbitration. So in this is the block diagram of DMA. All of you practice the block diagrams. Okay. In this subject, if you learn the block diagram, then you understand the procedure also. Okay, ma? Okay, the next topic is buses, that is synchronous bus and asynchronous bus. So the next topics will be continued in the next class.